Mike, hey, Mike, I was thinking about this, man. I've thought about this today. So this columnist says Ben Simmons should be ashamed of what he's making Doc Rivers and the Sixers do. And everybody's got their own take on it. Everybody's got their own spin. Some people are pro-Sixers, anti-Ben. Some people are pro-Ben, but not as many. Pro-Ben and anti-Sixers. I think the Sixers are probably getting most people on their side, so to speak. But that's not really where I want to go. This is where I want to go. Who approved this? Who rubber stamped this? Who said, okay, give that the green light? All right, bruh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Hey, Doc, this is what you do. Here's a formula. Doc, you're so good with the media. Doc, you're good. You're good, man. You're special. You got a gift, and he does. This is what I want you to do. Whoever you go on with, especially if you go on with somebody who's been in the sports media for a long time, you kind of talk to them as if y'all are on equal footing. So, for example, Rich Eisen, our brother Rich Eisen, on the Rich Eisen Show. Hey, Rich. Yeah, I mean, you've been in this for a long time. Rich, you know. I mean, you've covered sports for a long time, covered some of the biggest events, some of the best players in the game.
Yeah, you
know how this goes.
You got to lay it on thick.
Yeah, now you know. Like, a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know, but Rich,
yeah,
you know. All right, so you make
that
that person feel like, hey, they're in. You know, they're behind that velvet rope. So bring them in here. You tell them things happen in sports. And, oh, yeah, we always hear it all the time. And, Ben, I didn't say that. By the way, this media narrative has gotten out of control. I didn't say that. What I was saying was this, and Ben knows that. Ben don't know nothing. Ben don't know nothing, Doc. That's why he doesn't want to play in Philadelphia anymore. But what was so interesting, all of that, it really was a 90% BS. So everything Doc was saying was just trash, okay? Just trash. It sounded good, but it was trash. He actually got to a lead, though. We're going to do a little journalism seminar today. We've already talked about Sawatsky. Y'all good on that. So you know what the lead is? The lead is essentially, why are we here? Why are you reading this story? Why is this news? So Doc's lead was at the very end, and that was, you know what? He's got 4 years left on his contract, and we can do what we want to do. That's the only true thing he said. That's the truth. Everything else, Ben talking to other guys on the team, and we can make this work, and we respect Ben, and we want him here. That's a lie. No, you don't want him. You don't want him there anymore. He doesn't want to be there anymore, and it's probably untenable for him to return. But you think the hammer you have, and I tend to agree, the hammer that you have is a 4-year contract, and you can control where he goes. The only thing we don't know, Mike, and the only thing we don't know is how dug in is Ben Simmons when it comes to that 4-year contract. Most people in any profession, professional sports or the plumber down the street, most people tend to say, I'm going to work when you mess with their money for too long. So that's the question. Can Ben Simmons handle it when we're in November and December and he's still not getting paid and possibly continues to be fined by the Philadelphia 76ers?
Yeah, we'll see if, I'm not want to count another man's money, but we'll see if it starts affecting his pockets, it starts hurting his pockets, or if his peace of mind is actually priceless. You know whose pockets are not hurt by a $50,000 fine? That's Joe Lacob, all right? Like,
right.
That's literally pocket change for Joe Lacob, the Warriors governor, right? So Joe Lacob yesterday got fined for reverse tampering. Not tampering, reverse tampering. Like, it's like anti-tampering rules. Like, no, he anti-tampered with Ben Simmons because he told the San Francisco Chronicle, I believe it was, he said that the often rumored Simmons trade to Golden State, the discussed trade to Golden State, and as a matter of fact, if I recall, we ended a previous Simmons conversation debating who we would rather between the two of us. You wanted Ben Simmons. I said, give me Draymond Green. But I digress. But so coincidentally, Joe Lacob tells the Chronicle that this trade, quote, doesn't really fit what we're doing. He makes a lot of money. And can he finish games? I don't know. So the league hit him with a $50,000 tampering fine. And I say it's money well spent. And here's why. Two reasons.
Yeah.
One, Daryl Morey, you ain't about to use the Warriors, says Joe Lacob. You ain't about to be out here using the Warriors as leverage. You ain't about to float
Right.
or in conversations suggest that you got another buy over here. No, we ain't in the Simmons business, okay? Because the same problems you have with him, we have those same problems. We see those same things you see, except the difference between us, says Joe Lacob, and you, Philadelphia 76ers, is we ain't paying him for them 4 years. And we don't want to pay him for them 4 years, given how much money we already paying. That's your problem, okay? You made that mess. You made that bed. You got to sleep in it. So it's money well spent because let's just make this clear, says Joe Lacob. We ain't in on Ben Simmons. He doesn't fit what we're doing. So y'all can stop with this Warrior speculation about us giving up picks and Draymond and our young players. We're good. We're all set, okay? That's one. Two is money well spent because it's a reminder to Daryl Morey in public that this player is not what you're making him out to be. Or to your point, Michael Holley, he's not what you're making him out to be, Doc Rivers. Because yes, what jumped out to me in listening to that interview with Rich again is, oh, so now he's Dennis Rodman? Now he's Ben Wallace? Like,
Yeah, he making it worse. Right? He's making it worse.
I don't remember those guys playing point guard. I don't remember those guys playing point guard. And they were and they knew their job was not to shoot. There was not scoring. Right. And as good a defender as Ben Simmons is, and I get Doc's point. He's talking about things that don't show up in the box score. I get Doc's point.
Right.
But as good a defender as Ben Simmons is, to quote Robin Harris, and I think we did this the other day, if you have a dream of thinking you as good as Dennis Rodman or Ben Wallace, you better wake up and apologize. Okay? Let's start with that. Okay? Defensively. Right. Okay? Defensively, of course. Well, we're not talking about offense because that's the point. Okay? So, anyway, and he's a great passer. The kid's a great passer. He's athletic. He's versatile. He does do a lot of things well. But if he did those things so well, when somebody asked you when you had the opportunity to stand by your man, where's Stevie Wonder? Shout out to Stevie Wonder. Right. Where were you when I needed you last winter? Okay?
Last winter.
When you had an opportunity to stand by your man, when they said flat out, is he a point guard on the championship team? I don't know the answer to that. Doesn't matter what you say after that. Doesn't matter what you say yesterday. Because right now what Doc is saying is what he's probably convinced himself to actually feel. I'm not saying Doc's lying as much as Doc has come around to feeling like, you know what? I'm going to love the one I'm with. I got to coach the guys who are here. I got a better chance of having Ben Simmons and getting a number one seed like we did last year in the regular season than I do if Ben Simmons is at home collecting fines or suspended. So it's in my best interest to say, my name's Paul, that's between y'all, as in you and Daryl Morey. I want you here, Ben. But you showed him better than you can tell him when you had the opportunity. And like I said before, if they'd asked him, could he be the point guard on the second round team that loses in 7 games when your point guard doesn't shoot? He'd probably be like, oh yeah. But he told the truth. He told the truth. Joe Lacob told the truth and got fined for it. Doc Rivers told the truth, and now he has to try to clean up on aisle 6. And so I thought the Joe Lacob story was fascinating because at the end of the day, that is $50,000 that needed to be spent because it needed to be said. We are not in the Ben Simmons business, and the Sixers and Daryl Morey need to wake up and realize that they have a problem that they're going to have to solve for themselves. Nobody's going to give them this boatload of picks that they think they should get because Ben Simmons has the profile of a franchise player or the contracts of a franchise player. If he were so valuable, if he were worth so much, they would be keeping him.
Yes. Based on Joe Lacob, unless Joe Lacob is just lying, move the Warriors out. They got to go down at Raptors territory, 2,500, plus 2,500. But, I do want to point out, though, that Joe Lacob, see, that's what I would do. If I'm Ben Simmons, I'm inspired by Joe Lacob. And, see, Simmons needs somebody who will tell him some hard truths, okay? Philadelphia tried to do that too late. You can't do that. You can't just note to employers. Note to employers. This is for free. I'll give you this tip for free. Everything else, I'm going to charge you for it. But any employer, if you have a problematic employee and you enable that problematic employee, you've totally screwed up, because when it's time inevitably to discipline them, it's not going to work, because you've enabled them so long that now you have lost any kind of credibility when it comes to telling them the truth. So the Sixers just screwed up from the start of just trying to coddle him and saying all these things about, hey, he can do this, he can do that. Now, yeah, sure he can, but he also struggles with shooting. But I would say this. If I'm a friend of Ben Simmons and he listens to me when I tell him the truth, I say, look at the Warriors. Look at Draymond Green. Draymond Green takes threes. Draymond Green takes threes with impunity. And it don't even cross
ain't scared to miss.
Cross his mind. Ain't scared. And you know what? My man hasn't shot 30% from three in 3 years. Last year he shot like 28% from three-point range. The other year 27%. But he's shooting it. So go ahead and shoot. If Draymond can stay on the floor and be a threat as a 27% three-point shooter, you mean to tell me you can't make 27% of your threes or 30% of your threes? Go ahead and take it.
Somebody once told me
more than
you make
10.
Somebody told me you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Let me ask you this, since we're in the place of we're talking about solutions. Amin El-Hassan, friend of the show, Amin El-Hassan, Meadowlark Media. I heard something he said that was interesting. I think it was on Sirius NBA radio the other day. Check this out.
I always say that the best way to get traded is not to sit out. The best way to get traded is to show up and be an absolute jackass.
Jimmy Butler style in Minnesota.
Jimmy Butler, James Harden in Houston, where they're like, we're prepared for it to get uncomfortable. And James Harden's like, okay. And he plays so bad, you got DeMarcus Cousins and John Wall in the postgame press. Like, what are we doing here? If he doesn't want to play, don't play him. So, that's the way to get traded. By not showing up, you help the team by, like I said earlier, being like Augustus Hill in Oz and saying, I have no hope I'd rather live with no hope of you walking through that door than to sit there and hear every time the door opens, is it Ben? Oh, no, it's someone else. They're better off moving forward off of that.
Yeah, I respectfully disagree, because maybe that's Jimmy Butler's playbook. Maybe that's James Harden's playbook. But I think what we've come to realize is that's not who Ben Simmons is. He does not have the type of personality conducive to being a jackass. He's not going to show up and show his ass. He's not doing that. Because it's not that Ben Simmons doesn't want to be there.
Right.
It's that he doesn't want to be where he isn't wanted. Right. What was I about to say? What you thought about to say? What?
No, I thought you were going to say that's not his personality, because I thought you were going to say if he showed up and did that, then that's the personality of the guy that Philadelphia wants. That's what they want.
Correct. We wouldn't be here. We would not be here
if
he were built like that. If he were wired that way, we wouldn't be having this conversation. That's what they want. They want a dog.
Exactly.
They want more of be more of a dog than he is.
They be
so
like,
he's not gonna go
we
and
ain't
make
trade
it more
you now.
uncomfortable.
Now we really ain't gonna trade you. You can be an a-hole.
Right.
You can say WTF.
Where was this?
Great.
Well, I didn't know you had it like this, Ben. This is all it took to bring it out of you.
My guy, my dude.
I keep saying there's something to be said. Hey, Gary, we can go to break now. We got company waiting, so we shouldn't keep the lady waiting much longer. I was just going to say, if it's okay that he's not built that way, that's okay. That's fine. Everybody ain't made for that, But he's not the type to go in and be uncomfortable. This is how he needs to approach this, and I respect it. I honestly respect it. He cannot go back to Philadelphia, so I don't think he's making it easy on the team by not going. I think by not going, he has decided I'm gonna take control of the situation myself. I'm not gonna let you control my situation. I'm gonna do what's best for me, and I respect it. I respect his conviction. Have that conviction on the court, and we're good.